Can you see me? My little... Oh, that's got good service in here. I should do more stuff in here. Unfortunately, I am moving out of this location. If I knew I had this many bars in here, wait a minute. Oh my gosh. So I am currently moving, hence the stuff. And my brain is like, I'm done. I'm so done. I hate moving. I literally hate moving. But we're going to get past this. So I hopped on here so that we can have a chat. So how is everybody doing? Tell me, where's everybody from? What's going on? I am in the process of moving. I am packing. I am trying to take a little bit of a break from the packing that I'm doing. If you can see, my brain is like, I don't want to say, I don't want to say I have ADHD, but like moving is just a chore. I mean, it really is. It's just so much to do. And I have so many clothes. And so every time I unpack and I look through something else, I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know I had that. Oh, I love that. And I keep trying to give them away. But I also keep trying to keep them. I was like, oh, but I'll probably wear this again. But you forgot because you've had it for 3, 4, 5,000 years and you never wore it. But I might wear it again. And then the other problem is that because I went to Kenya, hello to people who are just joining, and because I went to Kenya, I just, I have so many clothes and I really want to give them to the people in Kenya. Hi, Ja. And I just want to give them to the kids in Kenya because I know that they can use them. But I don't know what to do. It's just, so much to do. Y'all, I'm supposed to be out of here by tomorrow. The whole house looks like this. The entire house. This is why I tell people you should move at least every 3 years. If you can. Just because you accumulate so much stuff. And so that is one reason why I am moving, is because I've accumulated so much stuff. I've been here for it's going almost on 4 years. So I'm trying to move out of here because I just need I need a break. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I need a break. So where are y'all from? Tell me where you're from. Hi. Hi, is it Abdus? It's going good. It's going good. I'm good. I am in the process of moving. And so it's just, oh, hi from Australia. Hey, I do have a friend. Her name is Talika. She lives in Australia too. I did say that is on my list to do for 2025. I have written out some of my plans for 2025. I haven't finalized them yet, but great. Oh, Germany. Nice. I've never been to Germany, so that was another one I need to put on my bucket list. Do you need a visa to get to Germany or Australia? That's a good question. Do I need a visa? I'm in America. You are formed live. Yes, I am live. It is the 30th of December, I think. Yeah. I don't know. View message. Okay. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, because I'm curious. Because I know. Now, I do know that flight is ridiculously long to Australia. Because I had a friend. We went to Kenya together. Well, we met in Kenya. But I had seen her for a while through our social media groups that we've been in. And she flew to Dubai first. And I think Dubai was 6 hours. And then flew to Kenya. And I think that was 12. But that is on that side of the world, right? So on my side of the world, I think it's like almost like a day. And I love to fly. That just sounds like a really, really long flight. So, but yeah, I wouldn't mind flying to Australia. What part of Australia are you in? Is it Catlin? Oh, summer. Okay, summer. I heard about those crazy, is it spiders? To everybody who's just joining in, my house is a mess. I am currently moving. I'm supposed to be out by tomorrow. But here I am on live because my brain, no. We'll figure it out. It'll get done. Probably not tomorrow. But, that's why I scheduled it on the 31st. So that way I knew on the 1st it'd be a holiday. So I give me an extra day. You see me. You see me. Okay. Nice. What country? I am in America. No visa to Germany. Oh, okay. Nice. I wonder how far is that from America. Yes, it is amazing here. I wouldn't mind going for the summer. That sounds nice, actually. I heard you say Kenya. Have you been to Ghana? No, I went to I went to Kenya. That was my first time in Africa. And so for people who are in America, when we go to Africa, everything is just Africa. So we don't necessarily know all the different countries in Africa, right? So it was like, oh my gosh, I just know I need to get there. I just know I need to be at the motherland, right? Especially African American. So when I went there, it was just a different experience that I had never had before. I didn't know about, I call them the underground toilets. Where you had to like squat over it, just changed my mind. I had no idea people live like that. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that was a thing. And so now that I've been, now that I'm learning more about different cultures, different places, I really enjoy it. All right, Ben. God bless you, Ben. God bless you, Ben. Ben Allen. Because why would you do that? How's that for culture? How's that for culture? Where are you from, Ben? Because what does that mean? Continue, Ben. Let's chat. Thank you so much. Africa? They don't even talk like that in Africa, though. That's only in America they talk like that. So I wouldn't know why you would say that. Oh, wow. Okay. That's a way. Okay. That's a different one. Oh, nice. SB. Okay. Nice, SB. Okay. Yeah. Why would you say that? God bless you, though. But when you get people on your lives who talk crazy stuff and say crazy things, that just makes for more entertainment. That just makes for more entertainment. That's how you know you really you are really making waves in the world, when people like message you and say crazy things. So it's okay. It's all good. Because here's the funny thing. That when people try to trigger you, that really means that's something within yourself that you haven't figured out. And so you are projecting that onto other people. Even though it had nothing to do, I didn't say anything to you. I didn't say anything mean to you, but you want to project that on me. That means that's a self-reflection on you. So that's something you have to deal with. So that is something you have to deal with. Anyway, so where's everybody from? Where's everybody from? Nobody's triggered. We're fine. We're fine. Okay. All right. So I am moving. I am in my house. I'm supposed to be out by tomorrow, but I have trying to figure everything out. Like my brain is like, so I'm just like, oh gosh. So, oh my goodness. So yeah. Yeah. So where's everybody from? Where you from, Ben? Hi. Hi, Jennifer. Hi. Is it I am lonely? Why are you lonely? Why are you lonely? You're from Africa. I don't believe that, Ben. I don't believe that. Belgium. Oh my gosh, Belgium? That would be so nice. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of bullies around. There's a lot of bullies around. So, when you feel bullied and you feel attacked, just know that that is not you. That is them projecting their stuff onto you because they don't know how to express their feelings. So they try to project it onto you as though it's your fault and it's really not. So that is a self reflection on them. So do not let them bother you. Do not let them put you in a situation where you feel attacked because it has nothing to do with them, nothing to do with you, and everything to do with them. It's like looking in a mirror and they're seeing the version of themselves and they don't like themselves or they hate themselves or they don't know how to communicate effectively without bashing somebody else. So that's really all that is. So you don't even need to worry about that. And in time, the more you learn, the more you read more about psychology and people and sales and marketing, you learn all of that stuff. You learn all of the little pain points that people have, and then you reach out to them in that regard because you already know that he's having problems with himself. So, it is what it is. What? Oh my goodness. Okay, so like I said, I am moving, so there's so much stuff in here. What? What city? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh my goodness. Wow. Y'all are quite chatty today. And here's the thing it is a new moon. So, because it is a new moon, we like to say that the energies are high and intelligence is low when you have a new moon or a full moon because of just the planets and everything that's going on. So, when you see all these things, just know that we are still in alignment. So, it's just energy. Energy is just being transferred from person to person. Don't worry about it. It's okay. We're all good here. We're all good here. So I am doing a 30-day sales challenge. And what that consists of is in January of next year, which is right around the corner because today's the 30th, I'm doing a 30-day sales challenge where I am challenging you to learn more about sales, learn more about marketing, learn more about how to reach people, how to talk to people, right? So just like I was saying with Ben, like just kind of reaching people where they are and talking with them so that you really can get a more of a feel about him because I already know so much about him by what he's already just said, right? So sales is really about communicating effectively and talking to people where they are and learning more about what they do and who they are. And once you learn who they are and more about kind of their culture, what they're into, you can speak to them in that regard. And it's not about trying to be sleazy or trying to make people buy something. It's really about connecting with them. And most people already are looking for something that you're probably selling anyway. And so they just need to connect with you and you have that conversation with them and you walk them through the steps and then y'all have that connection and then they buy. Most people are afraid of the objection part, right? Well, what if they ask me a question that I don't know the answer to? Well, that's why we practice. That's why we ask questions. That's why we go on lives right now, right? That's why we send emails. That's why we chat with you all. That's why we lives, videos, we do all kinds of things, right? That's why you see billboards. That's why you have that communication with people. You talk to people on the phone. So you can ask people what they want. And then by asking what they want, they'll tell you. And then you can have that conversation with them and say, okay, now that I know this about you, now that I know this, I can be able to help you in this way, in this manner. So it's really all about the way that you interact with people. My lips are tea. So I've been in sales, I've been in marketing for over 10 years. And so sales is a part of marketing, but I don't talk about it very often because it's just one of those things that I didn't realize it's definitely a need. It's definitely a need. And I'm seeing so many people that are afraid of it. So many people that I can't do sales. I don't want to be the sleazy salesman. I don't want to be like the, people always say like the sleazy car salesman. I don't want to be like that. And that's not how you necessarily will be. Most people just are so afraid of doing it, so afraid of being in the public eye, so afraid of public speaking that they like hide themselves from the world. Maybe because you have people, that jump on your lives like Ben, right? And so that really scares them, that really makes them fearful. However, your light will shine through no matter what. Okay, so I just want you to like just know that if you are wanting to be in sales, or if you're wanting to be a good communicator, just go out there and do it. Just go out there and do it. You're always going to have the people who don't want to do something, who don't want to be nice, and who want to say mean things and mean comments. And that's on them. That is truly on them. But for the most part, most people are nice people. Most people are genuine. Most people just need help, right? So sales is about helping somebody achieve something, right? Most people generally are two types of sales. They are the logical buyers or they're emotional buyers. And if they're emotional buyers, that means that I'm talking about sales. So you have two types of buyers: an illogical buyer and an emotional buyer. A logical buyer is going to be the one that's asking all the questions. Well, what does this mean, and how does this work, and what's the return on this, or how can I get this, and what about that? And so if you are new to sales, or you are nervous about the objections, the questions that they ask are really just one of the things that's going to help you fine tune the things that you are trying to sell. And the only reason why you have those objections are just because they're asking questions and then you didn't answer them within your chat. Like when you were talking with them, you didn't answer the question about those things, so they're going to keep coming up in discussion. So that's really why that they're doing those things. However, you have the logical buyer, and then you also have the emotional buyer. And so what emotional buyers are the ones that see what you have, see what you're talking about, and then they're like, okay, I just got to have it right now. Because they're already invested, they're already feeling it. If they're already in their feelings about your product or your service, you've already kind of sold them anyway, so they're already in. So they're easier to get, and they're your action takers, right? They're your fast action takers. They're like, okay, let's do it. I like what you have. I like your product. I like your service. Let's go in. Let's jump in. And so those are your two types of buyers. So do you have any questions? So this live is talking about sales. My room is a mess because I'm trying to pack. I'm supposed to be moving out by tomorrow, but it doesn't look like I'm getting too much work done. So I figured I'd jump on here and talk a little bit about my sales challenge. You can click the link in my bio if you want to learn more about it. Did you take business class? So I am a project manager. Actually, I took my test in, how long have I been a project manager? Since 2018. And then I do marketing for large concerts and events. So I am based out of Atlanta. And I started my journey, actually, I toured with Tyler Perry in 2014. So that's kind of got me out there. I worked for, when I started with him, I actually had a job at PBS, and I was interning in radio. And so when they approached me about going on tour with Tyler, I was like, okay, yeah, sure. I was young then, young and fresh. And so I said, okay, let's do it. And so I did a tour with him. I did 5 months, and we toured up and down the East Coast, from all the way down to Miami, all the way up to, I think it was like maybe Rochester, New York, I think. Something like that. It was like all the way up in New York. We did Houston, we did Dallas, we did a little bit, I think, Baton Rouge, and some other, I think Beaumont, I think maybe was it Beaumont? Is it Beaumont, Louisiana, I think? And yeah, so but you bomb. And so I did that, and then once I left that, I kind of still had that bug of like I want to do something else. So around 2018, somebody approached me about doing some concerts, and I had done some in between that time. And so for the last 6 years or so, I've been doing concerts. They're like blues concerts and blues shows. And so we do about 4 a year. And I'm venturing out to doing more consultations, right? Some consulting. And I'm learning that, a lot of people want to do these events, these really large events, right? Everybody wants to do big events now, right? Like, because COVID's over, or it's died down a little bit, and everybody wants to have these big name players at their events, right? Hey, like we have King George, we've had Sir Charles Jones, we've had the ones that's coming to my mind, LJ Echoes. We do like West Love, we do a lot of like the blues shows, so blues and Southern soul. And what we find is that people always want to do these shows, but they don't necessarily understand what it takes to put these kind of shows on, right? So then that's kind of where the marketing comes in. And marketing is like, okay, marketing is great. I love marketing. But if you don't understand sales and you don't know how to put your like structures in place, right? We call it a pro formula. If you don't know where all your money is coming in and where it's going out at, you are going to have a big problem. Hey Rico, you're going to have a big problem, because if you don't know your numbers, you are going to end up negatives, right? You're in the negative. Like, let's say for an instance, you want to put on a show for, let's say, 2,500 people, right? Okay. So you're thinking, sure, I want to put on a show for 2,500 people. It's like, oh, I can make so much money. But before you make so much money, you need to know how much your expenses are going to be before you even go there, right? So you're going to need to know how much is the talent, and talent costs are going up. And I say talent, I mean like artists. Who are your artists going to be? Like, let's say you have a artist that costs, let's say $40,000, okay? They're gonna want they want half up front and then half when they do the show. So that's 40,000. Now you're not gonna just have one artist on a show, right? You're probably gonna have two, three, four. Some of our shows have almost 10 different acts there. Now everybody is not gonna get paid $40,000. Maybe your main people get paid that much, and then you kind of figure out who else you want, right? So let's say your main act is 40. Let's say your second act is like 20, right? So now you're at 60, you're already at 60 grand, right? So that's 60 grand. You haven't even figured out who the rest of the people are on your show. Let's say all in all, it comes up to about 75,000, okay? Okay, fine. 75,000. How much is your venue, right? How much does your venue cost? Let's say the venue is $8,000, right? So now you have 75,000 plus 8,000. Then you're talking about 2,500 seats. Well, 2,500 seats sounds like a great idea. So now we got to figure out how much the cost of the tickets are going to be. But we also need to figure out how much our security is going to cost. We need to talk about food, right? Because are we catering so that when the artists come, are we feeding the artists? We got to talk about how much are the ticket takers, how much are the ushers, how much are the stage hands, right? How much is the stage? How much is the sound? And most people just don't think about all of these things. And so once you write all of these things down, your taxes, your fees, right? Because you're going to get credit card fees, you're going to get taxes from the building, you're going to have taxes because you are a business, right? So all of these things are going to be one of those things that you're going to need to know. And if you don't know them, it's going to mess up your sales, because you need to know these things ahead of time because if not, you're just going to mess yourself up. So this is why I'm having my 30-day sales challenge, and I encourage you all to join. It's only $99, so it's for the next 30 days. It'll be January 2nd through the the end of January, and we just talk about different things and different strategies and techniques with sales. Sales is not just asking people for money and, talking with them and trying to convince them. It's more so about people who are people who you're talking to that are already wanting to buy your product or your service. They're already interested. They called you or they were interested in you. They filled out your form online. They went to your landing page. These are people that are already interested in what you have to offer. And so all you need to do is help them along the way. Help answer their questions, help trying to see what it is that they're looking for. Are you a match? Can you help them? If not, then you can give them the next steps or have them find somebody else, right? But most of the times, if you have what they need and you deliver it in a manner that they can receive it, then they'll buy your product or service. Sales is solving a problem. Yes, good one. Yes, that is so true. Sales solves a problem, and most people just only know of the symptoms, right? Like, so what I like to say is sales is one of those things where, like a doctor, you say, hey, what's wrong with me? And you give the doctor all the symptoms that you have. But the symptoms are not necessarily the cause of your problem, right? You only know that these things hurt or these things I don't like about my body. And so that's why you go to the doctor. But the doctor has to go back and find out, okay, this is really what's causing it. This is the root cause. So, right? So you're giving the symptoms, but it's up to the people who are providing like sales to figure out what the actual problem is and then provide you with the solution. I like to say there are two kinds of, well, there's a lot of different kinds, but the two main kinds that people buy usually are for convenience and they are for to get away from pain, right? So convenience is, well, let me pay for it, right? If I don't like to do moving, I could just pay for a mover, right? That's one way. Like just convenience. Like, oh, I don't want to deal with it. Then I just get somebody to. Then I just pay somebody, so it's for convenience. So that's simpler. And so most people will pay for convenience, right? Most people get DoorDash. Most people get Uber Eats, right? Because I don't want to cook, right? But I just want to eat. So I'm going to pay for that convenience. Yes, it's an extra $4, $5, $10. I don't care. I'm paying for the convenience, right? And then you have the other people who want to get away from pain. It's not that they're in like a painful situation, like do this or I'm gonna hurt you. Nothing like that. But it's more so of I've had this problem for so long that I can't shake it, right? Like people who are going through like weight loss, right? And like they've tried everything, right? And I don't know how this works. I don't know how to do it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just let it go, right? I'm just gonna pay somebody, either I gotta pay a trainer and at least they kind of get me on the right path, help me figure out what I'm doing, and then at least I'll know the exercises that I need to do, and with that I can at least be able to get away from the pain because I have something else to look forward to. I have something else to work on. And so even if I don't necessarily keep the trainer, at least I'm able to move away from that pain and work on myself. So those are usually the top two. Now you do have the one where people just buy for your, just because, right? I want it, so I got it. However, when you want it and so you just got it, do you really appreciate it that much, or is it something you just got? And it's like, oh, I just got it because I thought it was cute, but then it sits in the corner and then it collects dust, right? So there are a lot of different types of sales, but the top two are mainly just for convenience and to move people away from pain. Oh, excuse me. So if you are just joining, I am in the process of moving. That's why it looks like this behind me. And so I am, yes, you see, yeah, the hair, it actually is crocheted. So, but yeah, the hair is a mess. The nails are a mess. We're in the process of moving. We do not care about that. I just figured I would get on live and I would have some chit chat with some good people and talk about some sales and talk about some marketing. And I was hoping that y'all would help me pack, but y'all seem like y'all not gonna help me pack. So, so yeah. So tell me, where is everybody from? You said don't throw money at you. Right. I don't want anybody to feel like they're throwing money at you. No, It's already something that you want to buy. Most people, like if you think about it, when's the last time you bought something? Oh, shout out to Atlanta. I'm in Atlanta too. Most people are naturally born, like naturally, I say naturally born, but most people are buyers, right? You buy something probably almost every single day. It doesn't matter what it is. You're usually like itching, like, oh, I gotta buy something, right? Either it's something on Amazon, whether it's something, buying gas, it's something at the grocery store, it's a pack of gum, it's a t-shirt, it's sneakers, it's something. People buy every single day. And so because there are 8 billion people in this world and they're always looking to buy, you can sell them what you have, right? You can't make them buy it, no. But if they're already looking for something, then they will buy because they're already looking. But when you say overpay for what? It's all in when you say overpay. But here's the interesting thing. You may think it's overpaying, but there is a certain market that knows that is a good price, right? Because it's all in how you value yourself. Like if I value myself as this price for my product or service, and I know how much my taxes are, I know how much my employees are, I know how much my expenses are for my services, for my software, right? All this kind of things. So then I put that all in, just like I was telling you before, just like I was telling you about the expenses that comes with a large concert or event. There are thousands of dollars that have to be spent. And so if my ticket is $125, it's because of all the expenses that I have to pay before the show even starts, right? So unless it makes me money, I feel that. So what kind of things are you into? Exo nice or X no dice. What makes you money? What are you into? What do you do? Hello, Bruno. Shout out to S in Atlanta. I do. Thank you, Debo. Yes, I love sales because I think it's one of those things that most people just don't know enough about. Like that's one of the things that I wish we would talk about in school. Like when I was in school, we didn't talk about sales, right? And I think that's why so many people are scared of sales. Here's the funny thing. The funny thing is that the people who are really good at school end up getting a 9 to 5. And they love their 9 to 5s. The people who are not necessarily great at school end up becoming entrepreneurs and business people, and then then the 9 to 5 people end up working for you. So it's just an interesting dynamic because it's almost as if school raises most people to work 9 to 5s, right? It gives you that kind of structure so that you end up being in that kind of mode where you understand rules, regulations, and stuff like that. And so that's where the 9 to 5 comes in. If you don't like school and it just feels like it's just too daunting for you, or you feel like you just don't belong, you feel like something's off, then I really encourage you just to kind of seek and do something different. If you work in a 9 to 5 and you hate your 9 to 5, I really feel like that means you're not supposed to be there. Like, I think that means you're supposed to be doing something else. Because I don't know why would you want to stay in a job that you hate? Like, I really feel like that's one of those things that people are nervous about, right? And so that's why I'm passionate about sales, because sales is one of those things. If you learn sales and you understand it, you can take it anywhere. It's really just about understanding who you are, understanding who they are, and being in really good communication with people. And when you're good with communication and with people, you can take that anywhere. You can do anything with it. And so you don't have to be at a 9 to 5 that you hate, right? You can take that anywhere. You can do anything you want. You can have that luxury. You can have that freedom to travel. You can have that freedom to do what you want to do. You want to give people, you said I'm not old enough. That would be, I would love to. Thank you. Thank you. I just celebrated my 20th class reunion. So that was, about 6 months ago. So yeah. So I'm telling my age a little bit like that. So that's why I talk about this kind of stuff. So, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, sales is one of those things that you can take with you anywhere. Like, you can literally just write your own ticket if you understand sales. You can do high ticket sales. And so most of the people that are in like online content creation, you know, the people like Alex Hermosi, the people who have really large followings on social media, when you learn sales, you can work with them. And so what they like to do is they have closers. Closers are people who help close the sale. All you literally do, somebody's interested in somebody's product, right? Let's say Alex Hermosi, Cody Sanchez, let's say, you know, Tony Robbins. If somebody's interested in your product or your service, and they say, hey, I want to book a call. So they book a call, and then they talk to you. So you're already getting a warm lead. And what is a warm lead? A warm lead is a person that is already looking to buy something, right? Because they're already inquiring. They've already signed up, they've already called, they've already scheduled the appointment. So you know that this is something that they're looking to do, right? They're wanting to learn more information. So that's a warm lead because you're not having to go to them. They are coming to you, baby. They are coming to you. That is a good sign. So when they come to you, all you do is you give them the information that they're asking for. You ask them how they are. You ask them what they're looking for, why they came, where have they been previously, what's worked, what hasn't worked, what are they looking for, what are they looking to accomplish, and like what are they looking for in the next 5 years or so. Get them talking about themselves. People always want to know, people like to talk about themselves anyway. So you just let them talk, and as you let them talk, you listen. Don't worry about what you want to say next. Just listen. Thank you, FNS. You just listen, you write down what they're saying, and then you can have that conversation. Okay, so basically, based on what I heard, you've said this, this, and this, and this. Do I have this correct? Yes. Okay. So are you interested in this and this? Yes. Okay. So do you have any questions about this or that? And then and you just have that conversation with them, right? That's all it is. Sales is just a conversation. Sales is just something that's simple for them. They talk to you. Why are you effing them? What's wrong? What's wrong? So you just have that conversation with them, and then lo and behold, after y'all have that conversation, they've moved a little bit closer because you've given them what they were looking for. Thank you, FNS. You've given them that conversation. You've given them the answers that they were seeking, and they feel like you can answer their problem, just like Debo said. They feel like you have answered their problem, and that your product or your service is going to be the solution that they're looking for. And because of that, then they purchase. And so that literally is just sales. What? You will get money, but they will close the door. I don't know what that means. Hi, Mark. Trying. So that is literally sales in a nutshell. Sales is a great skill. And everybody, I feel like, needs to learn sales because it's one of those things where, you're just so much better off when you understand it. It's like riding a bike, right? Once you understand it, You can ride a bike anytime, any place, anywhere, right? I'm in Atlanta. So I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm in America. And so sales is one of those things that you can take with you anywhere. And the interesting thing about sales is because it's about communication, because everything that you have to do, right, to make money, you literally have to deal with people, right? All day, every day, whether it's online, whether it's in person, whether it's your 9 to 5, most of the times you're dealing with people on some way, shape, or form, in some way or some area. And so that's why sales is so important, because you can take it anywhere. The stuff you learn in sales helps you with communication with your children. It helps you with communication with your family, your friends, your spouse. It helps you in all those areas, because you'll be able to, okay, let me listen to you and hear what you have to say. Okay, so basically you said this. Yes, I said this. Blah, blah, blah. Because, just like for most women, right, we just want to be heard, right? You can say all the things, but if I just want you to hear me, right? I don't necessarily need anything. I just want you to hear me. And so that's the same way with sales, right? You just need to listen. If you listen to the person, they'll tell you everything you need to know to close the sale, to close the deal, right? And that's sales. That is literally all that you have to do. Oh, thank you, FNS. So, yeah, I love sales. I do. And I think it's one of those things, like, for most of my life I grew up hearing for the love of money is the root of all evil. And I think that too plays a part in why so many people don't like sales, because they hear that in the back of their mind, oh, if I'm right, if I love money, then I'm evil, I'm some. But that doesn't have to apply to you, right? And it's not, and it's like the love of money is root of all evil. But people kill people all the time, and it's not necessarily for money. It could be for love. It could be for, like, you did something to me. I feel like I have to do something back to you, right? So people don't necessarily just do bad things for money. People do things for all kinds of reasons, right? Because they don't love themselves, because they don't feel secure with their selves and who they are as a person, and so they lash out at other people. But that doesn't mean it's always money related. So when you think about that term, for love, money is root of all evil, just be mindful of that kind of stuff. Like, that doesn't have to apply to you, right? You're not a bad person, right? You just want to make a living for your family, for your friends, just to be able to do this for yourself, right? You want to be able to breathe, right? You don't want to have to worry about bills, 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 right? You want to be able to, hey, if I don't want to work this week, I don't have to. If I want to travel this week, I get to. If I want to spend time with my family, I get to. And you have a choice. You have an option. You don't have to do this, right? When you feel like you have to do something, when you feel like you're obligated to do something, you're not going to want to do it. But if you have the choice and you can decide what you get to do every day, then it's fun, then it's easy, then it's something that makes you feel passionate about it. Because I get to do this, right? I get to get up. Like, if you had no problems, right? You had no money problems, you probably wouldn't even need to drink anymore, right? You probably wouldn't even need to smoke anymore. Like, most of the vices that people have is because they feel like it's burden on them, right? And then money is such a large burden. If you release that burden, then I don't need to do half of the stuff that I was doing to counteract that pain or that hurt, right? I just get to live. I get to travel. I get to have experiences. I get to see a different side of the world, right? And that's what sales does. I'm able to travel. I'm able to see the kids in Kenya. And I would have never seen the kids in Kenya, right? If it wasn't for that ability to be able to get out, see different things, experience different cultures. So the funny story was that I went to Kenya. I was the only American in Kenya. Well, let me not say in Kenya, but on this particular trip, I was the only American. And then everybody else that I went with was Asian. They were all like, they spoke Mandarin. and English was everybody. And my roommate at the time, she lives in Australia, but she's from India, and everybody spoke two languages, and nobody had English as their first language but me. So I'm looking like the odd man out, because even in the kids in Kenya, we went to an orphanage, and in the orphanage, the kids speak Swahili. So they speak Swahili, and then they're learning English. And then I'm the only one that went there, and I only knew English. And I was like, oh, I only know English. Everybody else knows a second language. So I was like, I'm just sound like the odd man out. And so I just thought that was very interesting. And I did say for 2025, I do want to learn Swahili and a little bit of Mandarin, because I do want to take that same trip again with the kids to Kenya. And I would like to be able to have that conversation with them in their language, right? Thank you, Unstoppable Undefeated. I would like to have that conversation with them just like they were able to have that conversation with me. And I want it to be in their native tongue. So, excuse me. I did learn, I think, Asante. And I think that was, thank you. Oh my gosh. See, now I'm starting to forget stuff. I know Asante was one, and then it was, I think Asante was thank you, and then Nakumpende, I think was I love you. I think that's what it was. Nakumpende. So yeah, but I want to learn more, and I want to explore more, and I want to be able to do more things and see more things. And so sales gives me that opportunity to do that. Sales gives me that platform to do that. Sales gives me that flexibility. Because I do marketing and we do events and concerts, I'm able to travel in between the shows, right? So I do the email marketing, I do the social media pages, some phone if I need to. I will say one of my main things that I love to do just in general is the customer experience and the client retention. And I say that because most people just don't think about the customer experience. Like if you have a show and the show's over, and and people had a good time, and then you just leave, then you didn't ask them any questions, right? I love surveys because surveys give me that extra data that maybe they wouldn't have given to me if I didn't ask, right? Well, what did you like most about it? Anything that we can improve on? Because most of the time, you can improve on certain things. And it's usually never about price. So just, even though we're talking about sales, and I think somebody said it's overpriced or it's too much money. If somebody is willing to pay for it and somebody wants to pay for it, they will pay for it. If somebody's upset about something, it's usually never about price. And it's usually about the way that they felt in that moment or how they were treated. It has nothing to do with the money. It has everything to do with how they were treated. I had a conversation with a gentleman. This was years ago. And he paid for VIP, and he was mad about VIP. And so he called and he was like, you had me in these hard seats and I paid for VIP and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, okay. And so when he got off the phone, I was like, oh, he just wants a softer chair? That's easy. So pay for softer chairs. We paid for newer chairs, for softer chairs. And that was it. And he became he's like one of my favorite clients now. Like he calls me by name. I call him by name. I was like, hey, how's your daughter? How is she doing? Because she got in a car accident. Does she need anything? Like, hey, let me send you this. Like, that's the kind of relationship we have now. And it all stemmed because he was mad about a chair. And it had nothing to do with price, right? It had nothing to do with money. It had nothing to do with price. It had everything to do with the experience. That's why the customer experience is so important. And the customer is always right. Because if the customer is not in alignment with what you are offering, or your delivery or your communication is off, then they're not going to buy and they're not going to come back. And you won't know why if you didn't ask the questions. That's why questions are so important. That's why we say you have to handle the objections, but the objections are questions. And if you understand what the questions are, you can help them figure those out, or you can help fix those before they even get to that part, right? Before they even get to that point, you can fix that. So this is why I love sales. Yes. Okay. Oh my goodness. So I am in America. I am in the process of moving. I'm supposed to be out by tomorrow, but you see me on this live, right? So we'll figure it out. Yes, my hair is a mess. I had it was crocheted in there, but it's time for it to come out. The nails need to be done. Everything needs to be done. But we are not going to do any of that until we take care of this here. So, but I wanted to jump on and talk about sales, talk about marketing, talk about my 30-day sales challenge that starts January 2nd. I would love for you to join me. I want you to click the link in my bio. I think I put it on here. I think it's in my description. So, if you're interested, it's $99. Oh, look, I just broke my nail. Oh. See, everything's falling apart. I'm turning it to a pumpkin. I'll glue it back on later, I guess. I don't know. It's a mess. But anyway, so yeah, so I'm having a 30-day challenge, and I would love for you to join. And we're gonna talk about sales. We're gonna talk about. So I am in marketing. I am a project manager, but my specialty is in marketing and consulting. And I'm finding that so many people are having challenges with sales. And so that's kind of where I'm at right now. Is like, you know what? I do need to teach more about sales because so many people are afraid of sales. So many people are scared of sales. And it's such an important part of your day-to-day life. And it really helps you get better with communication with people, right? Sales is one of those things where people don't want to talk about it, but people buy every day. People always want to buy something. So if you have something to sell, then sell it. And people will buy it, but you do need to understand the way that people purchase things, the way that people buy. Hi, Ruth. Hi, is it Jagondo? Am I saying that right? Is it Jagondo? Thank you. And so those are the things that I would like for people to know because it's so hard for people to just understand that stuff. Hi, I am lonely. I haven't heard from you in a little while. Why am I so nice? Because it doesn't make sense to be mean, right? It just, once you understand the psychology of people, right? So I had to do my own digging. So what I found out was when I would, when I would be frustrated or upset and I would start blaming people. And that would be, I was being the victim, right? And I was blaming people for what was going on with me. Okay, well, they didn't do this and they didn't do this and they didn't do that. And then I realized I created the problem, meaning I had the landmine. I put the landmine down and they stepped on it and I blew up. Well, how did they know it was there? They didn't know it was there. I put it there and I forgot that it was there because I never took care of the issues and I never healed through the problems that I had. And so they just triggered me. And so because they triggered me, I stepped out and I lashed out at them or I got upset with them. But it's not their fault because it was my problem. It was my issue. Most of the things that we deal with are stemming from our youth, right? Something that happened to you when you were younger. Let's say, for instance, you had a really important game that you wanted your parents to come to and they didn't show up. And so now, anytime somebody says, hey, I'm coming, you're like, yeah, right, you're not coming. Or if they say they're coming and they don't show up, you go full. You go ham and you get so mad and so upset. And it's because of something that happened when your parents didn't come to your game. And it just shows in other areas of your life. And you'll think because, you've gone 20 years, and that was 20 years ago, that doesn't matter. Oh, but it still does because you didn't heal from it. So that's why I can be happy because I've done the work. And so even when I do have those situations, right? I have one of those times where I'm like, okay, hey, I gotta figure this out. I stopped watching the news because that was something that would be very heavy for me. one of the things I stopped doing was I don't like to watch crime shows because it puts me in that sad, damper mood, and it puts me in the like high alert. Like I gotta watch all my surroundings, and I don't like to live like that either. So those are some of the things that I stopped doing. I make sure I'm journaling. I make sure I'm doing meditations. I'm doing affirmations. I always win. I always win. I always win. I am good at sales. I'm good at communicating. I am happy. I'm smart. I am living in my feminine energy. I am a divine human being. These are the things that I say to myself in order to keep myself in that high vibration, in that high energy. And so, even though I'm talking to you, I've done a lot of work. I've done a lot of work around these things. I've spent so much time in this stuff. And so now when people come at me with that energy, that low vibration energy, I know exactly where to direct it, right? Like I'm coming to you and I'm talking to you, but if your energy is low, then I can pour into you and bring you up because I know how to use my energy. I know how to use my energy to heal others, to help others. And so that's really what my goal is now, is to help other people to to thrive, to win, to be successful, to understand who you are inside and out, because the funny thing is I don't care how hard you try to hide it, baby, it's going to show. It's going to show. And it's going to show through your face, through your actions, through your demeanor. Like, if I came to you on this live and I was like, hey, I'm great. I'm so great. I'm fine. You're not going to believe me because my mannerisms are off, right? If I'm slouched down like this, you can't see my neck. I'm bending down like this. I'm not really projecting my voice. You're not going to believe what I'm saying. So by being sitting upright, having here's a fun fact. Most people who are confident make sure that this is extended from their neck to their what is that, collarbone. This is extended. That's how you show that you're confident in something. When you're down like this, you don't look confident. Everything is about posture, right? Another posture move, and this is just communication in general. Like if you're having a communication with somebody and you want to seem like you know what you're talking about, this is confidence, right? You're sitting up, your chest is up, you're open, right? I'm open to receive you, right? My arms are like, my hands are like this, maybe because this is what we call one of the power moves, is the power posture, right? And then we're warm and competent. Those are two things that you need to be if you're trying to be good at sales, if you're looking for it, if you're in a job interview. Warm and competent. Somebody who's warm, somebody who's open, somebody who is, you can receive them because they have good energy. They're giving you emotional signals, right? I'm smiling, right? I'm looking at you, right? I'm not looking down like this, like because that doesn't seem like I'm engaging with you. So these are things that you can do in sales to enhance your sales, to enhance your communication with people. And these are just small little things, right? So yeah, this is what I do. This is what I love. I love communicating with people. I love sales. I love marketing. And I would love for you to join me for my 30-day sales challenge. And this is exactly what we're going to be talking about. We'll talk about some of the things that I'm doing, like my affirmations and stuff. Some of the things I would like for you all to do, like because it is December 30th, this is one thing that I would encourage you all to do. Whether or not you join my sales challenge or not. One of the things is write down everything that you want to let go of in 2024. Like write everything down. Like I'm tired of this, I'm sick of that, I'm tired of this. Write everything that's triggering you. I want you to write it down on a piece of paper. I don't care if you do front, back, whatever. Just write it all out. Write as much of it out as you can think of. And then you take that paper, you go outside and you burn it. And you burn it. You don't want to see not a letter, not a word, nothing. And when you burn, after you burn it, then you bury the ashes, right? Because basically what you're doing is you're taking it from out of your brain, like all the thoughts that are in your body, that are in your brain, you're going to take that out, you're going to write it on that piece of paper, and then you're going to burn it. Because when you burn it, that means you are letting it go, and you're not even going to think about it anymore, and then you're bringing new energy into this new reality, this new year, this 2025. So I would encourage you all to do it, because it's a beautiful, sometimes it can be very powerful. Sometimes you even get like emotional, because it's a powerful thing. Like, now don't burn nobody's stuff down, right? Put it in a bowl or something and burn it. Put it in a bowl, make sure it's ashes, and then deposit it. If you have a fire pit, drop it in the fire pit. Be safe. Okay, be safe when you burn it. But yeah, write it out. Write out all the things that you're letting go of in 2024, whether it be people, whether it be drama, whether it be new, like stuff that's been bothering you, anything that's been triggering you. Hello, is it D Hogs? Thank you, Marcus. And thank you, Royal Beast. Thank you, Moon Honey. So those are the things that I would encourage you to do. So that way it's just going to feel so much better for you. You're just going to feel so much lighter, so much air, right? It's just going to be one of those things, just like, ah. It's a good feeling. It's a really good feeling when you release that, because then you can really be able to get new downloads and get the things that you really want to achieve and really want to accomplish. They'll start to come in, because now there's space, right? Because all of that negative stuff was just twirling around in your head, and so now you're able to release that, so that the new good thoughts will come into play. And so that will definitely help you. Yes, I am lonely. That will definitely help you. You'll feel so much better about that. Oh, thank you, Pastor. So that's one of the things that I do, and I encourage you to do it. And then one of the other things is, like, it's a new moon tonight. So this is that new moon energy. New moons are usually, we call it like a portal from the started yesterday. Today's a new moon, and then 2 days after that. So because it's a new moon, you can also release your energy by or bad energy, bad emotions, by like taking a bath, right? Anything with water is a good cleansing ritual, right? It helps you cleanse out stuff and let go of bad things. So I would say either, yeah, write the letter, burn it, or take a bath and just release that stuff. Yep, there you go. New day, new moon, new year. You got it. You got it. Absolutely. Okay, I hear you, Rick. That's a new one. That's a new one. So, like I said, I am so glad that you all joined my live tonight. It is, oh wow, it's over an hour. Okay, cool. So I am going to hop off of here. I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. I would love for you to join the 30-day challenge. Thank you, Omar. I think this is good. This is good. I like this. I like this energy. I like this new. I am in a little bit. Yeah. Do you have any more questions outside of Rick James, his silly self? But yeah. You have any more questions? Sure. Ask away. But one of the things I will say, thank you, Omar, is that sales gives you so much confidence. And then, one other thing, I'm lonely. One other thing I would encourage you to do. If you are feeling that you're not confident or something, two things is yoga. And if you don't like yoga, I love yoga, because yoga tells you a lot about your emotions and a lot about your body. And what yoga will tell you is that we store a lot of our emotions in our belly, right? And that is interesting because, thank you, Thor. And that's interesting because our belly holds a lot of trauma and a lot of emotions. And that's where your core is. And so when you work your core, you start to release and get rid of some of those emotions, some of that bad energy. So if you are doing yoga, that helps with this area right here. And so it's funny because most people hide their emotions, and they think they hide their emotions by eating, right? So if you eat, then you hide this area. That's where you get these muffin tops and all that stuff, right? Because you're trying to hide the things you don't want people to see, but it only still comes out in a physical form, right? So now you see it physically because I'm trying to hide it in my brain, right? I'm trying to hide it subconsciously, but it still is going to show. So that's one of those things where being mindful of your energy and being mindful of your confidence, and that's how you gain more confidence, by working on your core. So if you do yoga at least 3 or 4 times a week and do boat pose, that's one of my favorite poses. Like, I try to do boat pose at least every day for at least a minute, and that also helps to tighten that core. Do that, doing those ab workouts and stuff, that helps you to really get into that part, and that way you'll have more confidence. So that's one physical way to do it. And then, of course, just, talking with people, communicating with people is also going to help you have more confidence, because it's something that has to be learned, right? You can't just, it's most people aren't just born with it, right? So you just have to test it over time, by doing lives over time, by getting over your fears, by doing these things. And, maybe next time when I'm on live, I'll get a moderator. It did say that. Like, it did say, hey, you might need a moderator so they can kick out the mean people on the live. And so I just was like, well, I'm just going to hop on for a second. I'm not even going to worry about that because there's not even going to be too many people on this live. Lo and behold, this is what happens. But it's okay. It was good to have. It was a great experience. I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. And so I want to say thank you so much for joining me on my live tonight. I am still in the process of moving and packing. So I've got to get off of here because I've been chatting for so long. I haven't got anything done. So I'm going to hop off of here. But I want you to follow me and subscribe to my channel. I will definitely be going live again. Yes, I'm supposed to be out of here by tomorrow. I am lonely. Tomorrow. I don't think that's going to happen. So we have a lot of work ahead of us still. But yeah, so subscribe and join my sales challenge, and we will chat soon. Thank you. Love you all. Oh, this was much fun. Okay, bye. Oh, it's 11:11.